Hi. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you and thank you for watching. I feel really isolated in my grief. I lost my birth mom to a suicide 6 days after my birthday on January 6, 2024. It's a very hard loss. We just had Mother's Day. It is my second Mother's Day without Brandy. Just all week I have just been like out of sorts and just like, feeling it and like dreading the day. As the years go on, I can tell that like it's gonna be forgotten and I'm gonna be forgotten, because even though I'm feeling alone in this moment, in this week, I know that somehow, some way, that I'm not alone. But it's just really hard to see because I'm like in that tunnel right now and I can't see any other way right now, and that's okay. That's completely okay. So this type of loss and this type of grief have completely rocked my world. Don't know what to do with myself at times. I don't know what to do with my brain at times. I am very aware of the fact that I am living through a different lens of life from other people, and it makes me feel like an outcast because, obviously if you haven't gone through this, you're not gonna understand it. It's gonna be hard for you to understand my feelings and my reactions, or just anything that I do or that I show or that I feel or that I express, because you haven't gone through it. And I realize that, but I don't think that I'm in the wrong for longing for more. It's so tricky. I just feel I don't I feel I can't even get the words out to explain how I feel and explain how lonely I feel and just isolated. I think my last video that I did about grief, a grief update, I think that was in February. I think it's been a bit. It is now 1 year and 4 months, which is crazy. Time is a lie. Unfortunately, I don't think that it ever gets any easier. Time doesn't heal because you learn to live with it even though you don't want to. I feel in so many ways my life stopped that day, and it's just all confusing and just feels really paralyzing. I cannot tell you how many times I have put out a call for help or connection, just simple connection, and have not been met with what I'm asking for. A lot of people have when somebody dies, obviously people say how can I support you, what can I do, what ways can I show up for you, is it what do you need, is there any let me know how I can help. If you need anything, let me know. And it's the minute that I do, it's barely anybody's there, and it's just kind of frustrating and just makes me want to go into hermit mode and not ever ask for what I need again. But I think those are just people that don't know how to meet my needs. I can understand wanting to be sensitive to me or the whole topic of the loss, but it's kind of well, please, if I'm giving you bullet points on how to support me and to show up for me, if I'm personally ways to personally help me. I can get like being sensitive of me and sensitive around the whole loss shouldn't be hard unless you can't like meet that or something. I don't know. Like maybe I'm looking at it in the wrong way, and I understand that people have like their own mental health issues, and like I hear that all the time. Obviously, like I'm not like expecting people to baby me 24/7 because that's not realistic. And this is a common thing around suicide loss survivors, is that we don't get a whole lot of support, which makes it feel even more isolating. We don't have people that show up for us when we need it because there's some sort of like stigma around all of that. Me like talking about it and me like trying to bring awareness to it or something. Like I hope that like I can like at least help somebody feel less alone through my own pain and my own grief and stuff. And I mean, that's all I can hope for. If you are a subscriber of my channel, you would know that I am autistic and I have been longing for connection. Like I was already kind of isolated before my mom's loss, but then like afterwards it just has become worse, and like I just feel it so deeply. And I'm wondering if like the connection that I'm looking for simply isn't with a person, just like one-on-one. I'm wondering if it's this. I'm wondering if it's like me talking to a camera and like posting it and just like getting my feelings out and hopefully like reaching somebody out there. That's why I make videos. Like that's why I talk so openly and I'm so open, especially like in this day and age. Like it's important because so many people are like closed off. So I don't know, I mean, I can only hope that like I reach somebody, you know, through whatever it is that I'm talking about. I'm not saying that like it's everybody, you know, but a lot of it has definitely like changed my perspective on like friendships and like people. I think when you go through something really hard and traumatic, it really does reveal who's by your side and who's like just like not. You know how people say sometimes that like, you know, when you go through something hard, like it like reveals like people's like true colors or their like capacity to support you, especially like when you're not like the way that you were before, you know, like if you're extra giving and if you're extra caring and if you're, you know, like if you become more like into yourself, like a hermit or whatever. I don't know, because that is definitely how this loss has sort of made me. I'm more so on like the giving side and I'm becoming burnt out from it, because I'm at a point where I just need something and it just makes me wish that I had more support or something. I don't know, and like I get down on myself for like wanting that. I'm just there for everybody and it gets exhausting. And I just want like someone to just be like, you know, like I see the efforts that you put in to like caring for people, but you can rest now, like you're okay. Because it does get really exhausting and I'm just tired. The world wasn't set up for someone like me, and I feel like that a lot of the times and only more as I get older. But somehow, you know, there's always that little like itty bitty like light that is in me, and I'm just like, there's like one part of me that's like, oh yeah, like your light is needed, you know, you're needed and then like, you know, keep that light on, you know, because like it's gonna be like appreciated someday, or like you're gonna do good in this world. But then there's like a part of me that's like, you've been through a lot, it's okay to let that light go out a little bit, take care of you, and not like be on for so many people. And I'm really like trying to do that. But giving and caring is what my soul knows, and I just feel like alone. I feel like I'm not making sense, but you know, that's what a brain spill is, right? Getting things off my chest as they come in, you know. I don't know, like I think that people like expect me to like be there all the time and to like just like be on and be a light for them all the time, and it gets exhausting, you know, because I'm definitely a people pleaser. And I hope that like as I move into my 30s that I kind of like lessen that a little bit or something, or like start now, not be so accessible. Sometimes just even like basic conversation, like that exhausts me. And then like just other areas of like day-to-day life, like I'm just exhausted, and it's not a good feeling. I know that I can't be everything to everyone. I definitely did get that trait from my birth mom 100%. It's just hard, like, you know, when like you're just like trying to navigate like a whole new lens of life, because that's what it is. And this grief is so different and so like unpredictable, because essentially you are healing from a grief and a trauma. You just kind of learn to live with it, but just like navigating this new lens of life with like talking to like other people who haven't, and just like being in their presence, it feels very awkward. And like I feel like a lot of the times that like I'm being like judged, even though I know that like they're trying to be like sensitive. I just feel like so different, and it's just a shitty feeling, because I have already felt different, so I have like this difference on top of this difference and this difference, you know, like it's just all like, it's so like, it gets a lot, and it feels like I'm like alienated. Mother's Day, I literally went through the most hardest weekend that I've had in a while in grief, literally due to so many insensitive people that like thought that they were like saying the right thing. I don't know, like it's hard to like say something without like context. I don't want to like say something and like make somebody upset if they're watching, especially, but it really pissed me off. I had like 2 incidents or 3 incidents that happened this weekend, and I was just like, I definitely do want to make a video though, with another suicide loss survivor that I met. Just like us talking about like how to support a suicide loss survivor, what to say and what not to say, you know, and just like how to support basically, I guess. So like if you'd be interested in seeing that video, let me know. But like otherwise I'm gonna do it either way, because I think it's a great idea, and I think that like, you know, just education in general about the whole thing, about a suicide loss and a suicide grief and a suicide loss, and a, like the people that are left behind, I think there needs to be like education out there, so like, I mean, I'm sure that there is, or maybe not, I don't know, because like I've only seen like how to support a griever, you know. It's not really specific to like a suicide loss survivor, so I don't know, like that's like why like I want to do like some sort of video to like help people, like if they're interested in like supporting me or something, or I don't know, someone that you know that has gone through like this sort of loss, you know. So I'm very excited to like work on that. But yeah, I dealt with some pretty like insensitive people this weekend, and that just really sucked, like leading up to Mother's Day, because like I was already like feeling crappy. So people obviously speak on things that like they don't understand, and like two feelings can exist at once, and if I ask you to not say something, that doesn't mean to continue it further. Especially if I just express to you like that, like I already have a hard time with like letting people know that like, hey, this is something that bothers me, this is something that is upsetting for me, doesn't mean to continue to do it or to be insensitive. That sort of means, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say it, that to basically, you know, be mindful and think before you speak. Also, like navigating grief with PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, that's been really difficult, and I've become an angry person surrounding this time frame, and I'm usually not an angry person. Like if you know me, like you know that it takes a lot for me to get angry, but I think that, you know, just this grief in general along with PMDD, you know, like one thing on top of another, you know, that baggage, right? It's made me angry. 1 second at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 minute at a time. It's all you can do. Grief is isolating, and awareness and just like being able to like openly speak on my feelings like is helpful, and like it's good to get that out there. Good to like get it out on a platform where people are willing to watch and give you a chance to and like listen to you, and that means the absolute world to me. Like I can't tell you like how much that means to me. I don't know, I just hope that like my content makes you feel less alone, or allow your grief to take up space, because it is allowed to take up space during holidays, during everyday life, during friend meetings, during family meetings, during work. Like it is, your grief is important, and it's allowed to be heard and seen, and just may your grief for the month of May take up space. May you form or align with people that make you feel seen and supported. Your grief gets to take up space no matter what, and don't let anybody make you feel bad or anything for your feelings or your thoughts or your reactions, because all of it is valid. And you know, as long as you're not harming somebody, you know what I mean, like it's okay, and it's okay to feel your feelings. I think one of the things that I have been feeling a lot of lately is that like obviously like I don't feel supported, and because of that like I feel like my grief is just like hidden away, and that like it's forgotten by people. And I know that like obviously people, you know, deal with their own mental health and whatever, life, you know, gets busy, people are in different stages of life, you know, so I understand that. But I mean, just in general, you know what I mean, it doesn't have to be like around like people, but like with grief becomes isolation. And sometimes I forget that like I'm allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to like be emotional on any given day, without explanation or like expectations of myself, because I feel like I put so much like expectation on myself, to where like I feel like I'm not worthy if I'm not doing said thing, or if I'm not acting said way. Like if I'm acting in the opposite direction, like if I'm angry and if I'm sad and if I'm having like a grieving day or whatever, like full on grieving day, I get upset at myself because like I'm not doing what society says. Like I'm not on the path of what society says or expects. And like I want to remind you that that's completely okay. And like if you're 20 something years old, that's okay. Like you don't have to be like following society's like, you know, pathway or something that is like expected of you, or like some sort of like view that like, you know, you have to have it figured out by this age, or you have to be like having kids at this age, or you have to be like whatever, just I don't know, something. I'm just giving an example. Like you have to be in a job, you have to be in a set job by this age, you have to be like, you should be happy because you're blessed with this and this and this and this. And yes, but two things can coexist at the same time, two feelings can exist at the same time, and I just want to remind you of that. So your joy is worthy, while also your grief, if you're grieving, that is worthy as well. And don't forget it. Don't you ever forget that. Oh my god, I feel like a teacher. Like I feel like I'm just like, don't you forget it. So like your grief gets to take up space no matter what your brain is telling you, you know, no matter what expectations you have on yourself. Or because like I've read like stories, and I mean it's not story because it's people's lives, you know. I've read things about people's lives who are like grieving when they have lost somebody, and they are, I guess, like stagnant, and they're just like, you know, they feel like they're stuck in one place and they can't like move forward, because moving forward sometimes can be looked at or viewed as forgetting or something. And you know, obviously that's not the case, but sometimes it feels like that, and I definitely know how that feels. And you know, it just sucks to like be like getting further and further and further away from somebody or something, you know. For most of my 20s, like to be honest, like I have really felt that way. I've really felt like I'm just like stuck in one place and I don't know where to go. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't like feel like I can't like get to where like I want to be. And sometimes like I feel like I'm like my birth mom in a way, because like she had trouble with that as well. I don't know, like I know that I am meant for something great, whatever that is. She obviously was too, you know, and I know that I'll find that one day. And it's okay that it's not right now. It's okay that it hasn't been in the past couple years. You know, I feel like I'm just like, I just have been through a lot of trauma in the past couple years, and it's okay that like I'm taking time to recover from that. Just like be with myself and like not, I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I mean your 20s, you know, it's gonna be confusing, which it has been confusing for me, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and that's completely okay. And especially like in grief, like it's completely okay, and I think it's normal. And it's also normal to like want to be like busy all the time too, like because I think that's like also a trauma response as well. So try not to beat yourself up about it. I remember a quote that my brother said, little by little, life is simple. Yard by yard, life is hard. We're all just trying to survive with just everything that we're dealing with, and I think it's so hard to be kind to our own brain. I'm just really trying to work on giving myself compassion and knowing that it's okay that I'm grieving. It's okay that I'm going through this, because obviously it's a very traumatic thing, and I'm not just gonna get over it, and that's the unfortunate reality of it, just gotta take it minute by minute, day by day, and not push myself. Back to what I was saying, if you're grieving, just know that it gets to take up space. You get to take up space. Your brain gets to take up space. Your emotions get to take up space. No matter what anyone says, you're allowed to be angry, you're allowed to be sad, you're allowed to be happy. You are allowed to feel two things at once, because two things can be true at once. You are allowed to feel all the feelings, because honestly, grief is messy. It is not just one thing. It's like a wave, and you go up and you go down, you go up and you go down. It's okay to not be the same as you were before. I have a really hard time with that I'm on a different path, and I'm going through such a hard loss, and some people just aren't gonna know how to support me. And it doesn't mean that I'm alone, even though it feels that way a lot of the time, and I'm having one of those moments. It doesn't mean that, and I have to constantly tell myself that. I am going to sign off here. Thank you for watching, if you watched and heard me out. Yeah, so that's where my brain is at right now. That was my brain spill. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you have a good night, a good day, whenever you're watching this.